Good morning, everybody. Let me know when you get here. Just drop a comment in the comment section. Say hi. We are exploring the element of wood today. You will need 2 blocks and then either a blanket, a bolster, or a pillow to sit on. So go ahead and grab those things. Again, say hi if you're here. I'm finishing getting set up. If you have questions about what you need, let me know. Alright guys, make sure you can hear me. I actually don't have a new setup today the same one I used last time. I feel like I say that every morning. So we have about 2 minutes before we get started. Again, you'll need 2 blocks. We're just going to be placing our feet on them. So you could also use stacked books, cushions, or your pillows or blankets. And then you will also need pillows, blankets, or cushions to sit on. Alright, who just jumped on here? Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started. I said that and then I'm not getting started in like 30 seconds. Good morning, Anna. Happy New Year. I'm glad you're here. Alright, so 2 blocks. 2 blocks right here. And then a couple blankets. Alright, so let's talk about wood. I have all these notes. Hopefully we'll make it through them all. But wood is typically in Chinese medicine associated with the element of spring. Obviously we're not quite to spring yet, but spring also indicates like new growth and new beginnings. And I thought that would be very appropriate for now at the beginning of the year, 2021, January. It's a good time for us to reconnect with ourselves, with our intentions, and plant some seeds of focus and clarity. So let's talk about the wood element. The wood element governs our liver and our gallbladder. So our liver is the yin organ and the gallbladder is the yang organ, and together they work in harmony. I was going to show you guys a cool picture of the meridian lines. I don't know if you can see those. You don't want me to draw them for you, but they're really cool. So the liver meridian, it begins down by your big toe, it travels all the way up your leg, all the way up past your knee, your hips, your organs, your reproductive organs, and then it goes into your liver. From there, though, it branches off and goes into the rest of the body, and it turns into other meridians. But the liver meridian is basically like the general, okay? It controls everything. It's the planner. It stores blood. It guides our energy, our chi, the flow. So without our liver, we can't function very well. The gallbladder, though, works in unison with it, and it's kind of just like its helper, the liver's helper. But it stores our bile and helps things also circulate in our body. What was I going to tell you about that, though? Oh, so these two energy lines, though, they connect together. So the gallbladder one starts up behind your eye, and it kind of travels around in your brain, and then it goes down your neck, past your shoulders. It does some stuff right here in your organs, and then it does travel all the way down to your toes. So they do connect. Just a fun little fact for you. So the emotion that this element of wood governs is anger. So when you're out of balance, you anger easily, you get frustrated, you might be irritable. When you are in balance, though, you seek growth and expansion. You have a kind heart, you're generous and very flexible. So this is where the tree or the wood part of this element comes in. And I like to think as our bodies are like the wood part of the tree, and in order to grow and be healthy, your soil needs to be healthy. So your soil takes care of the wood, and then the wood grows. So the soil is basically the health of our mind, the health of our body. Everything that's around us that we absorb, we're feeding ourselves. So we're like wood, absorbing the nutrients of the soil. So what we put in our soil is going to affect our bodies, our hearts, and our minds. So to find balance within this element of wood, obviously wood, be in the trees, be in a forest. Sometimes that's not available, and that's okay. Just go outside. Meditate, even a walking meditation where you're just quiet and you come to your inner thoughts. Those all help out balance your wood element. So the fun part about this element, though, is the seeds that we're planting. We're going to think of planting these little brown seeds into the soil around us, and we are going to nurture and care for that seed and allow it to grow. So this class is going to be about you planting focus seeds and clarity seeds. These seeds are going to get stuck throughout the year, and that's part of the wood element. They're trying to break through the other element, earth, and break free and blossom. And that's where we can get stuck in this wood element. So what we want to do is get clear with our visions, our goal, and channel those visions and positivity into a different chi or different energy flow, so you don't get stuck in being frustrated and angry and irritable. Instead, you channel that energy of creativity and growth, and it helps you grow as a person. So I've been talking for almost 5 minutes, so let's get into our first pose. I have some really cool questions. Instead of mantras today or affirmations, I'm going to ask questions and just let you ponder them. You don't have to tell me your answers, but just think about it. Notice the emotions that come up when I say the words and how it makes you feel, and just go from there. Just notice where you're at, and maybe you'll notice that you do feel a little imbalanced today, and that's okay. We change on a daily basis, we change on a minute basis. It just depends what we're going through. So let's go ahead and get into our very first pose, which is going to be reclined butterfly. So grab your blocks, you can set them off to the side. Let's just take a moment here. Come on down to our booties. So go ahead and lay yourself down. Bring the soles of your feet together, and then let the knees drop out to the sides. So we're going to be working the inner and outer legs in class today, because our inner legs are the yin side and the outer legs are our yang side. So this is a gentle opener into the inner legs. And we're going to work on our breath. We're going to be here for about 4 or 5 minutes. just letting our bodies relax. So we're going to take a 3-part exhale. Let me walk you through it. Take a deep breath in, fill up the belly, and pause at the top of this inhale. On the exhale, let it go. Just open the mouth and let it go. Try that breath 2 more times. Deep breath in, fill the belly, and then pause at the top. Open the mouth and let it go. Good, 1 more time, just like that. Deep breath in, and let it go. So allow your breath to follow that pattern for just the next few minutes as I walk you through the rest of this breath work. We're going to exhale in thirds. And in between each exhale, we're going to pause. So just like we did before, it's a big inhale. Fill the body up with the breath and pause. On the exhale, we're going to exhale just our throat space, this 1/3 of our throat space. So we exhale, pause. Then we exhale 1/3 more. So exhale down into your chest. Pause. And then exhale the rest of the way out of your belly. So it's a deep breath in, filling up the belly. Pausing at the top. Exhale 1/3. Another 1/3 after the pause. Pause. And the rest of the way. So let's try that again together. Inhale, pause. Exhale 1/3, pause. Exhale into your next third. Pause. And then let the rest go from your belly. And again, inhale. Pause. Small exhale. Pause. Small exhale. Pause. Full exhale. Good. Try it again on your own here. Breathing into it. Checking in on you guys on my phone. Good morning, Sonia. It's great to see you. So as you're concentrating on your breath, start to imagine your body like a tree. Any tree that pops into your mind, maybe it's your favorite. It could be a palm tree, a bamboo shoot. It could even be a cactus if you want. We are in Phoenix. It's a tree, a succulent tree. So just notice the wood in your tree, how strong you are. Notice where your body connects to the earth. Notice the wind brushing past your branches, your leaves. Maybe you have flowers. Feel how strong the trunk is, but how flexible your branches are. This is your wood element. You embody both the strength and the flexibility. So on your next breath, you can take your hands towards your knees or thighs, and let's just gently close our legs back together. Use your hands, take your time. Oof. You should feel a little stretch on the inner thighs. And just pause here for a moment. So now I want you to look around for your blocks. You can start with one and then see if you need a second one. But what we're going to do is come into a figure 4 shape on our back. So we're going to take our blocks and we're going to put them by our feet. So right where your feet are, you're going to set your blocks next to them. Preferably the length of your foot. It's okay if your feet do not, or if they fall off the block. So if, like, I have small feet, so they're the length of the block. If you have big feet, your toes or heels might be off the block. So roll back down. We're going to place our left foot onto the left block. We're going to cross our right ankle on top of that left knee. So we're making that figure 4 shape. You may need to pull or adjust the blocks to make your legs a little more comfortable. But this is a real gentle opener. We're not going to pull our knees into our chest. If you'd like to take your right hand and press it into your right thigh. Let's point and flex our right foot a couple times just to bring some awareness all the way from the brain into the toes. And then you decide if it felt good to have your foot flexed or pointed. Maybe just it can be relaxed. And we're going to breathe here for 3 minutes. Gently letting our bodies open. You should feel the stretch on the outer right thigh or leg. So now we're moving into more of the yang side of this posture. The block under your foot is just to help intensify this posture, because this as is not intense, or it doesn't feel like a lot for some people, and some people need to feel that. So if you don't want your foot on the block, you can take it off. Otherwise, just stay here with me. Enjoy the sensations. Something to think about as you're letting this wood element come to shape. Just ask yourself, what question did I write down? Are you able to balance your mood and your energy? So thinking about how wood corresponds to anger or kindness. Anger being unbalanced, kindness, generosity, and flexibility being balanced. Are you able to balance your mood and your energy? With your next long but soft exhale, let's uncross that right leg. You can let the foot come to the floor, the left foot can come to the floor. And just pause here for a minute. If you'd like to take windshield wiper legs, let the knees just drop over to the left and the right. You should feel a little bit of a stretch in both hips as you stretch and or drop your knees to the left and the right here. Good. Next time both knees come up, let's place our right foot on the block this time. Right foot comes on block. Left ankle crosses on top of that right knee or thigh. So again, find what works best for you here. You might need to adjust your footing on your block. Maybe you get rid of the block altogether. Maybe you add a second block. Let's point and flex the left toes a couple times. So point the toes, flex the toes, just bring some awareness. Make your mind do a little work, your body connect to that work, proprioception. And then you decide what felt best. The foot can be soft and relaxed. Maybe you take the left hand to the inner left thigh. Finding that breath. Checking in with yourself again. Are you able to balance your mood and your energy? Come back to your tree. If you find your mind wandering, or maybe my question made your mind wander, and that's okay. Come back to your breath. That 3-part exhale. And envision the tree that you are. On your next long, soft exhale, let's uncross the left leg. Slowly move your blocks off to the side of your mat. Let's take those windshield wipers one more time, just dropping the knees to the left and then over to the right. In your own time here, we're going to flip over and make our way into a tabletop shape. So whatever way you'd like to get there, maybe you drop your knees to one side, then you roll up, maybe you sit up, however you want to get there. So go ahead and grab 2 blocks, set them at the top of your mat, and then come into your tabletop shape, hands underneath shoulders, knees slightly under hip. We're going to come right into our sleeping swan on our right side first. So let's take our right knee and pull it up behind our right wrist, and then heel toe your feet behind or over to the left side of your mat and start to shimmy your left leg back. This is where you're going to grab one of your blocks, maybe it's a blanket, and you're going to slide it underneath your right foot. It's where your butt and your thigh meet. Super technical. But what we're doing is we're just creating a pillow for our hips to sit on. When you're ready, you can lower yourself down. Well, you can stay here on your hands, or maybe you lower yourself down to a block or your forearms. So our first 2 poses, we worked the inner and the outer. So we balanced ourselves by working the yin to the yang with our inner and outer legs. We're going to flow a little bit here, as much as a flow can be in yin. So just like a tree, for the first 2 postures, we were rooted. We didn't move much, just like the tree trunk, just like the base of your tree. So we're still going to hold these postures, but we're going to flow from one into another without a rebound. If you feel that you need a rebound at any time, though, you take it. And the rebound is just that burst of movement that feels good. So when you come out of these long holds, sometimes it feels good just to move and wiggle your body around. That's your rebound. So we've already been here in our sleeping swan for 1 minute. So keep breathing here. If you notice your body starts to relax, you can always move to deepen the pose. Come back to what your tree looks like. Notice the external forces around you. Maybe it's the other elements. Just see where your thoughts are taking you. Are you finding that stillness? Or maybe this is bringing up a little discord. Good. On your next inhale, plant the hands to the mat if you were not already there. Start to lift the torso up. We're We're going to move that block out from underneath us or whatever prop you had. You can set it off to the front. Roll onto that right hip and swing that left or back leg forward. Okay? I'm going to face you so you can see what happens when you do that. The left leg that you swung forward, you're just going to leave out into a wide straddle. Good. So we're coming into half butterfly. So I just want you to check in on your left knee. Make sure it doesn't feel locked out. You can always place a blanket underneath it. So again, we're looking to stretch the inner part of the thighs here. So go ahead and grab your block if you need to and place it out in front of you. Place your hands on the floor of the block and then lean forward until you feel that stretch in your left inner thigh. When you feel the first inkling of that stretch, that's where you stop. You exhale, drop the chin to your chest, and allow your body to round down. So remember, we're not flattening our spine. Our spine is round. So I'm going to turn this direction again so you can see what's happening here. As soon as you feel that inner stretch, then you can drop your hands, your chin. Depending on what props you have, you might even be able to rest your forehead on a block. Again, we're wanting to feel the stretch of the inner thighs here. Moving right into the second posture. Find your breath. Think about your mood right now. Think about the flow of your energy. Maybe start to think about the seeds that you'd like to plant for this coming year. Think about why you're planting them, how you're going to cultivate this new seed, this new piece of your life. Good. On your inhale, let the hands come to the floor. Start to press yourself up. Maybe you walk your hands back towards your body. So let's set our block off to the side. Let's extend both legs out in front of us. Nice and slow. That right knee might be feeling a little bit ginger. Shake the knees out if you need to. And then let's roll on down to our backs. We're going to come into banana pose. So let's take our feet and crawl them to the left side of the mat. So pick up your feet and take them to the left side of the mat. You may want to cross the right foot on top of the left, or maybe the left on the right. I'm going to tell people to try both. I always tell you guys to try both because sometimes the foot you think is on top is not the stretch that you're going to get. So feet walk to the left side of the mat. Inhale the arms up overhead. Big exhale, let's lean our body to the left side of the mat. So you want to feel a stretch along the left side of the rib cage, the hips, maybe that IT band really is what I'm talking about in your hips. You may even feel it down by your knee. So let's breathe here. Moving right into this. This is our final posture on this side, and then we'll do everything on the other side. So that's what I mean by a flow. We haven't had much of a rebound. Let's focus on our breath while we're in banana pose. So it's a big inhale in, fill up the entire belly. You pause. Then you exhale 1/3 of the way and pause. So think of that in your throat area. Then you'll exhale another 1/3. This is in your belly. No, your chest. Throat, chest. Pause, and then exhale the rest of the way out into the belly. So let's try that again. Deep inhale. Pause. Exhale 1/3 of the way to your throat. Exhale another 1/3 of the way into the belly. Pause. And then exhale the rest of the way. Last round. Slowly start to unhinge your body. So uncross the legs. You can walk the heels to the center of your mat. Slide your torso to the center of the mat. Let the hands come down by the body. Let's take a deep breath in. And then just let it go. Good. All right, let's roll on to your favorite side. And press yourself all the way back up into your tabletop shape. Let me adjust this. Ooh. Okay, so from our tabletop shape, we're going to go right into Sleeping Swan, but this time with the left leg. So get your block on the left side so it's accessible. Pull the left knee close to the left wrist, and then slide your left foot to the right side of your mat so it's behind your right wrist. Not your, it doesn't have to be parallel to the front, your shin, that is. Start to crawl the right leg back. Grab that block, use it as support, get it underneath your bootay. All right, finding what you need, finding that comfort level. Maybe you lower down to a block, maybe your hands, forearms, floor. So just know the left and the right side aren't going to be the same. That's totally normal. But as you start to settle in here, I've got another question for you. Are you able to adapt and yield? Can you be flexible with this? Are you able to adapt and yield? And can you be flexible in this? Each exhale, think about pulling the weeds away and out of the soil. And when you inhale, allow that breath to be the magic of your clarity, your focus, your growth. Give yourself a little body scan here. Start at the crown of your head. Just notice what this portion of your body is doing. Are you furrowing or burrowing your eyebrows, clenching the jaw? Soften your shoulders. Maybe you lengthen your neck. When you breathe in, really feel the breath in. Feel it push your ribs out, your belly out. Feel the stretch in your skin. You're already at your last minute. Can you breathe into your hips, that loud outer left hip? Maybe it's loud, maybe it's talking to you. This is it. Soften the body. Take a big inhale. Plant the hands if you need to. Lift the torso up. Remove your block if you had it out on the side. And then roll onto that left hip, swinging your right leg forward. So I'm going to turn towards you so you can see me again. But this is what you should look like. That left leg stayed in, knee is bent. The right leg is out in a V. So just check in with your knee. Make sure that the right knee does not feel strained. If it does, put a block or a blanket or a pillow underneath it. So if you want to use that block out in front of you like we did before, you'll just place the block out in front of you, reach your fingers for it, and then you'll slide the block forward or crawl your hands forward until you feel a stretch on the inner thigh of this right leg. So you're not taking this into a deep stretch. It's the first little sensation that you get when your body is like, oh, yep, I hear you, I see you, I feel you. That's where you stop. You take a deep breath in. And when you exhale, you drop the chin to your chest. You let the shoulders roll forward. Maybe you drop your head to the floor, maybe to your hands, maybe to a block. Personally, I love to take my elbows to the block and then my hands to my forehead. I completely am supporting myself with my own body, my own props. And again, remembering this stretch, Yin Yoga, is for your fascia. We're not here trying to lengthen and flatten our torso to our belly. That's a different kind of stretch. So come back to your question, come back to the seeds. Can you adapt and yield and be flexible in it? We've been flowing through these 3 poses. We've got this one and one more to do. Flowing like the wind through our branches, through our leaves, through our thoughts, through our mind, through our consciousness. Good on the inhale. Slowly start to come up nice and soft, nice and slow. I'm going to turn myself. I'm going to stay here. Set those blocks off to the side. Both legs come out straight. So to the top or the end of your mat, depending on which direction you're facing. Let's roll all the way down to our back. Taking that banana pose again. So this time we're going to crawl our feet to the right side or right corner of your mat. Maybe you cross the left ankle on top of the right. Maybe you switch. Try it the other way. Inhale the arms up overhead, and then let's lean to the right. So we're making a banana shape with our body. You want to try and keep your hips grounded or glued to the floor. So again, we're feeling that stretch along the left side of the body here. Rib cage, hips, that IT band. So just notice the flexibility that you've cultivated in your heart space and in your soil. AKA, that's my little metaphor for your mind. Notice how rooted and grounded and firm and strong and courageous you were in the first section of class. And now you're allowing yourself to be fluid, flexible, just like a tree sways in the wind, withstands heat, water, and any other turbulence that comes in contact. Finding our last 60 seconds here. Come back to that 3-part exhale. Soft exhale. Slowly uncross the legs. Walk the feet back to the center of the mat. Unhinge the upper part of your tree trunk. Let the hands come down by your sides or your tree trunk, your wood. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Exhale. Good. Roll on to your favorite side. And then push yourself up. So you can stay right where you are. You can turn yourself lengthwise with the mat, whichever is easiest for you here. We're going to come into our straddle. And I want you to grab your pillow or your blanket for this. So go ahead and prop your booty up on your blanket or your pillow, whatever you have. Take the legs out wide to that straddle. And let's just bend into our knees a couple times. You can do both at the same time, one at a time. So we're going to have a little fun here. We're going to move This is our last part of the little flow part of yin. But on the inhale, let's take the arms up overhead and then exhale, cactus arms. So I want us to feel the wind blow through our tree. So think of your limbs strong like wood. You decide. Fingertips can be wide, toes can be flexed. You can make balls with your hands or fist, point the toes, maybe one of both. Pull the core in, nice and strong. And we're just going to sway back and forth. Let the wind move us. I am going to invite you to close your eyes here and start to just get weird. Just breathe. Smile. Be silly. Cultivate that creativity. Cultivate that growth. Move that energy around. And then a big exhale. Let the hands come down. Soften the legs. Stirring up that energy. Let's bring our hands to the floor in front of us. Grab your block if you'd like. Same thing is going to go here, just like we did in half butterfly. I want you to lean forward. Maybe you slide your hands forward on a block. Maybe just slide it on the floor until you feel that stretch in the inner thighs. It's not a big move here. Stay soft. As soon as your body says, oh, I feel that, that's where you stop. Round the shoulders forward. Drop the chin to the chest. You decide what's easiest or most comfortable, maybe not easy, but most comfortable for you here with your block. Chin comes to the chest. And let's breathe. Remember, the sensation should be on the inner thighs. So if you need to back out of it just a little bit because it's in your hamstrings, back out of it. Inner thighs, we're activating those meridian lines to help balance our wood element. Anna, I think those are laughy emojis. I know, that was fun and silly. Breathing here. So as we're here in our dragonfly, I've got another question for you. Where is it? I wrote it down. This is a good one. When faced with a challenge, can you look at all your options clearly to gain perspective? When faced with a challenge, can you look at all options clearly to gain perspective? What does that mean to you? How does that relate to wood, to your emotions? Is the challenge what brings frustration? Or are you stuck in the ability to make a decision? Good, nice big inhale. Lift the chin, lift the head. Hands can come to the floor or your block. Help push yourself up. Take your time though. When you come all the way up, if you have that block, let's just set it off to the side. Let's take our hands to behind our knees. Kind of lean back and pull your knees up as you lean back. Let's walk our feet together here. You can give yourself a little hug. Maybe just rock side to side. And then we're going to make our way onto our back. So you can lean forward. Move your pillow out of the way. So go ahead and grab your block when you come down to your back. And you're going to set it on the right side of you, kind of by your right hip. So we're going to kind of start the class, we are going to end the class kind of like we started the class. We're going to take that figure 4 shape again. Let's keep the right leg bent. Left ankle is placed on top of that right thigh. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this shape here, but we're going to take this foot and drop it either to the ground or a block. So if you watch me, I'm going to drop this left foot over to the right side of the mat or the floor. So my foot reaches the floor pretty easily. I'm going to invite you today, though, if this is easy for you, put a block under there. Change the direction. If you're not sure, try both. See which one's better. For me, a block is easier, but because my skeletal is different than your skeletal being, it may be easier or harder. So your right hand can grab that left ankle. Left hand can reach out to the left side and then turn your gaze over your left shoulder if that's comfortable. If it doesn't feel good on your neck, keep the neck and the gaze looking up straight. So today, my foot being on this block is actually posing more of a challenge to me, because I know that my foot can touch the floor. These feelings start to cultivate a little anger. You see what's happening here? Because I know I can do it, because it's the fuller expression, it's my ego driving me. But here I am breathing into this to find a different perspective. I'm letting go of the old perspective. Let your breath become easier. With your next breath, the gaze goes to the sky. Release the hand from the foot if you were taking that bind. And then roll the left hip back down to the mat, coming back to your figure 4 shape. And cross the legs. Let's switch our block to the other side. This time cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh, making that figure 4 shape. So your right foot, drop it over to the left side of your mat, to the floor or a block. Again, my suggestion today is take the option that you don't normally take. So here I am again putting my foot on a block. Right hand reaches out, long palm is up, gaze is looking over the right shoulder. Breathing here. Finding that new perspective. This side already feels different. The side already feels more positive. How is this side changing your perspective? Maybe it's not changing it. It doesn't have to change it. Just see it. Witness it. Soft breath, let the gaze go back to the sky. Release the bind you had if you took it. Roll the right hip back onto your mat. Uncross the legs. And just pause here for a minute. Slowly slide into your Savasana, whatever that means for you today, that shape. You can stay right here if it feels good. You can take that reclined butterfly, just like we did at the beginning of class. You can straighten the legs, or maybe you just roll to your favorite side for fetal position. That's what I'm going to do today. My Shavasana. And your Shavasana may not be the same. So whatever Shavasana you took, place one hand on your heart. Close your eyes and envision your tree. This is your tree and your tree alone. You are in charge of the shape, the size, the color, the texture. You're in charge of its growth. So allow the soil that you feed it to be one or many nutrients that propel you forward, that give you growth in the right direction. Exhale the weeds and inhale growth. As you're allowing your body to rest, to absorb, to embody what wood means to you, I want you to imagine your energy flowing from the tip of your big toe up the foot to the ankle, travels the shin bones, the knee joints, your thigh bones. It encompasses your hips and travels right to your liver, travels to your gallbladder. That energy is now connected to a new line that travels up and around through all your organs in your torso. Comes up through your chest, your heart, your lungs, your throat, your shoulder. Travels up your neck. It fires around in your brain, channeling that positivity, that energy, that creativity, that expansion. And it ends right behind your eyes. So knowing where it ends and begins, I want you to open your eyes and see yourself in a new light. As you open your eyes, let's take that breath one more time. Inhaling the growth and exhaling the weeds. Slowly start to press yourself all the way up into any comfortable seated shape. Maybe you grab your blanket to sit on if that felt good to you. When you find that spot, let's take our hands together at our heart space in Anjali Mudra. Take a deep breath in and then let it go. Take a breath for yourself. Take a breath for someone you love. And take a breath for someone who may be suffering. The world could always use more of your love in it. Thank you for joining me for this elemental practice, exploring and discovering the wood inside of us, the courage, the ability to clarify our minds and our focus, and to get rid of the anger and break through anything that you're stuck in. Thank you guys for being here. Namaste. Mwah. I love you. I hope you had a great class. I have a card for you. It says, "You are the only you that will ever be. You are kind of a big deal." By Jen Sincero. I don't know who she is, but she is so right. You are a big deal. Your tree is a big deal. There, focused. Yay! So I hope you guys enjoyed this practice. I'm really enjoying teaching you about the elements. I'm enjoying learning about it. We've still got some more to go through, and then we'll probably hit up the chakras just to give you the future plans. Again, thank you for being here. Tell me how your day went. Tell me, how your holiday went is what I meant. How you like this class, how your Sunday's going. Namaste, Anna. Thank you for being here. If you have questions about your meridian lines, let me know. But have a great week. What's happening this week? I don't know. Is there anything going on? First week of January? Does anyone make big plans? My birthday's coming up on the 6th, so maybe I should do like something, a birthday thing for you guys. Let me know. Let me know. All right. Love you lots. Have a great Sunday. Embody the wood element. plant your seeds and grow tall. Mwah. Bye, guys. Namaste.